The minimal phone, and this one just arrived, literally just arrived at my door. I backed this, it was a Kickstarter, and I paid my own money and backed it and waited. I've been waiting for some time. I feel like that's what you do on a Kickstarter. You buy something and then you follow it eagerly and you wait it and you kind of wonder whether you've made a good choice, and you see how they've been developing this product. You wait for updates, and then you finally start to see that some are being shipped, and then you get the notice that yours is being shipped, and you just wonder, is it going to live up to that kind of initial promise that made you want to back it and buy it in the beginning? But you get to feel like you're part of something as well, and nice touches like this one just goes even further to making that feel that way. The entire idea of a minimal phone isn't brand new, and I've tried this one. This is the Light Phone 2, and I'm aware Light Phone 3 is out now. But the Light Phone 2 was an ultra minimalist, let's say, because you really couldn't do much on it. And from the little bit of time I've spent with it, I found that it's just far too limiting. And then there was the Palma 2, which was like a phone, but with an e-ink screen and worked really, really well. And then now the Highbreak Pro, which I think really goes a long way to being a true e-ink minimal phone. The Palma was a great experience of using e-ink on a phone-shaped device, but it just wasn't a phone. And I said quite a lot, if you're going to carry around one device, if you're going to go minimal, you do want to carry around just one device, and it might as well be your phone. The thing about this Bigme is that it could do all of the things that you can do on any Android phone, except you don't want to do many of those distracting things like watching videos or scrolling on social medias, so you default to reading instead. That's the idea anyway. Whereas this guy, nice idea that it is unfortunately just too limited, and really it's the case that it's minimalism but only on their terms. There's only what they decide to give you, the very few apps they decide to give you that you can actually have. And even the GPS was just incredibly limited because, well, it's not a real GPS. It's an access to maps, and it's giving you, there we go. You can see the frustrations with using this thing. And I'm aware that Light Phone 3 is out, and I like the idea of making something minimal, so small, go light, but I just don't think that that is currently the way to go. There's a Light Phone 3 is out, which is bigger, but they've gone for OLED now. And if you like reading, you probably would prefer reading on an e-ink screen. And for me, one of the reasons to go for a minimal phone, it's not just about fewer distractions, but it is more about having something which is all in one, an e-reader and a phone in your pocket. First thoughts straight away, it feels like it's wider, but it actually isn't any wider than the Bigme Highbreak Pro, which that's a funny thing to say, isn't it? It looks and feels wider than that. Firstly, I'm just going to make sure that I only get the top layer off. I feel like I've taken the entire screen protector off there. Nice. Oh, it's nice. Now this guy will be good if it'll be good if these keys are satisfying to press. Yes, they are. It will be good if I enjoy actually writing on them, because personally, I never had a BlackBerry, so there isn't that nostalgia element for me. However, I'm quite sure that I'm going to enjoy using a proper keyboard, because I've never loved on-screen keyboards of any type. They did, however, give me an American plug, not the end of the world, and it's a C2C cable, but at least they do give you a charger in the box. This does have some of the core elements that I want from a minimal phone. It does have, obviously, SIM card. It does have a fingerprint reader on the side, and it does have full Android. Okay, so why would you want full Android kit if you want to go for a minimal phone? Surely the idea is doing without. For me, that idea of having full Android is about doing minimalism on your own terms. Your minimalism is different to my minimalism. That's the way I look at it. You will want something different from your minimal phone to what I want from mine. And if a minimal phone, therefore, allows you to have access to an app store, a complete app store, then you'll be able to start from zero, and then you can install apps slowly, you can install apps intentionally. They've had this much trouble with a SIM card. And I have seen that they've already had some issues with this, and they've already updated the software. So I'm hopeful that I get in at the ground level with a lot of the early kinks already resolved for me. let's see. It will probably take a little bit of getting used to. It will probably take a little bit of me setting up before I can give you my full thoughts, but I just really wanted to get it out of the box straight away and just have a good look at this thing, which I've been anticipating for quite some time. And the initial thoughts about it, they seem to have done a pretty darn good job. How will it stack up though against this Bigme phone, which Bigme have got something down that Minimal will struggle with at first. They have got the e-ink center down. I just think they might have got the positions of some of these keys in the wrong place. I mean, I just want a dot. A full stop shouldn't be a shift, should it? Why would you have a microphone rather than a shift? And how do I get the @ symbol? Well, that's a nuisance, so I have to hold down Alt and press. That's no good, is it? And one thing I think we're used to with on-screen keyboards, we're used to the image changing. So when you press shift on an on-screen keyboard, the actual icon changes to whatever the symbol is you're going to get. So that is going to take a bit of getting used to. I'm going to take both of these with me on my travels. I'm going to get used to using them. I'm really quite excited, to be quite honest. I'm really looking forward to getting to know these two as Minimal phones. You can see both are going to have 4G or 5G. Yeah, it seems to be connected just fine. And I will let you know as to whether I think these are really viable alternatives to my big foldable. I really want them to be good enough that I don't feel the need to spend another £1,000 to replace this foldable here. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. But I think it's just that the animation didn't play. Again, there we are. E-ink screen not quite working as well as it did when I did the same thing on the Bigme Hybrid Pro. And I'm already somewhat happy with using the Alt key, for instance, to make that corner a little numpad. I think there might be better ways that they could have done some of these things, but hey, they're on a learning process. I think I can take that out now. Thanks again, Bigme, for helping me set up. So here, for instance, the animation isn't playing and it isn't vibrating. I don't know whether it's not got a vibration sensor. Something that I often do is enroll the same finger or thumbprint twice just to make sure that it's quick and easy. And you can see the e-ink is trying to do something. There we go. So I'll get a few more things set up and I'll just quickly show off what the screen is like in use. Okay, so it's got all of its things down from the other phone, so let's try things out. No idea what the difference between Minimal launcher and QuickSnap was. I don't like the launcher straight away. It's not too bad though, is it? I think the middle button is a refresh button, which is a good idea. I guess these are up and down volume automatically. You see, they need to take the time to draw themselves independent buttons. That's much more at home. I really want to know where the e-ink center is. Okay, so hold that down for the e-ink center. Cool. I've got my dual color front lights, which is important. I've got my different presets. Oh, I see. So this is warm, cold, nighttime, and custom. Fine, just have it generally off. This is your speed. Okay, how quick are you at doing this? You can see the loss of detail there. Let's show you the difference. Looks a lot better on the higher refresh. And that is the thing where with the Bigme, they're just going to be that much further ahead. It just looks so much crisper over here than it does over here. And if I go to the e-ink center, custom, I'm going to go the fastest it can be. Refresh mode, extreme. Do the same thing over here, fastest it can be. Let's go find a web page. I also seem to remember somebody telling me, one of the reviews that I've already seen of this, telling me that it doesn't remember your settings by app. You see, this actually defaulted back just to fast, which was still way faster because it remembered what I had the last time I was in this app. Whereas this doesn't necessarily remember. So fastest over here, just so much faster on the Bigme, and now best on both. And you can see the limited number of options that I have here. You see the auto clean working really well there. I mean, you can see, sure, they're both slower now, but the Bigme is still looking more contrasty. It's just looking better. So I think that's fascinating. But the program that I'm really worried about in both of them, not worried at all, but the program that I really want to work well in both of them is any sort of reading app. Oh, this is going to take a lot of getting used to, isn't it? I mean, where are all my apps? And that's a frustrating thing, I think. So apparently I can't have the middle setting unless I've done something in accessibility mode. That faster setting is probably going to be good enough for most things, because I'm not all about having that refresh the whole time. It's not the way you want modern e-ink. If for some reason it's not letting me put my PIN code in at that point, it's going to be a buggy experience. As a minimum, forgive a Kickstarter, I guess. Yep, I can't get an app. I thought I'd figured it out. I mean, how many times are you gonna have to write in your email address and something? If it's very difficult just to get an @ then, now they did give me a quick start guide, but there's nothing about how to work the keyboard there. It should be that one, it should be Alt and that, shouldn't it? You'd think. So if I can't get @ then yeah, I just get the feeling that at the present time, for most people, there's just going to be too many times when it's like this. Is there a control key? There's no control key. But for now, I'm going to have to ask it to have the on-screen keyboard on, which is not going to be nice at all. Alt-K is a shortcut. I can't get over this having to do a shift for a full stop. I'm in. So we're into Kindle. I was pain-free. Let's find some reading. Not ideal, I'd say. It's not as good as the Bigme is the slow refresh speed. It is good though. It's not as good a look as the Bigme, but it is good. Let's see if I can just catch some glare there. That's well controlled, isn't it? Let's try typing on it. You need to expect this, which I've gone through with you. You need to expect the learning curve. Initially, it's going to be quite steep. Because I think this is the thing. All will be forgiven. The learning curve will be worth going through if, I want that to be back to where I was. If typing on it is a great joy. Can you just get rid of it like that? No. So hopefully now I've got the idea that if I have the keyboard off, I've just turned it off. So it's got a little search key, but it doesn't, does it? And then there is the keyboard, plain to see, and I can't get rid of it. Okay, when I start typing, it goes, fair enough. I can't believe you have to press shift to get a full stop. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And also, because I'm having to type currently in that mode, it's so grayed out that I'm not liking that. What do I need to change? Accessibility menu. Right, so enable the accessibility service to use. Right, has that now worked? Fine. Is that good? Looks a bit better. Whoa, up in there. The click is good. So there's the symbol, but how do you get it? I mean, if I'm constantly having to do this, then what's the point? Just for a question mark, do I have to bring up the OK, hold down, slide, drop, start typing again? I'm certain you can see the frustration I'm having currently. However, I've had the phone out of the box for about an hour. So let's hold it there and just sort of see how I feel about this after some time of using it. You never know. It might be flipping brilliant.